Yo, what is up, guys? Just woke up here. Was thinking about this video I did last night. And again, if you watched the last video, then you know that the whole point of all this is just for me to kind of address and kind of give some advice on things that I hear in the community of Oaklands, right? And yeah, today this is going to be not for the new players, not for the OG players, but for returning players, players who may have played a while back, may have played when Oaklands came out, may have played when the game was different, and are just now returning and getting back into it, right? But I do have my cup of coffee. I'm going to take a seat here, and I'm getting into some of these things that I've written down. Alright, guys, so I'll say there are probably two big returning player scams. There are two big things that returning players need to watch out for. And I'll start with number one here, and that is going to be rare obtainable ores. Rare unobtainable ores, right? And those are ores that are no longer available in game. These are things that used to spawn in certain nodes and rocks, but they do not anymore, right? And a couple of these things are kind of well known to the community, players who have been playing for a while, and they see these kind of come up occasionally in Oak Market. People might try to sell them off for 1 to 2 million. You know, the value of these ores is pretty high, as they're not possible to be obtained anymore. You can't get them. You can't mine them in that form anymore. Probably the most common, most notable being marble grebe and marble. And I'm going to try to put pictures on the screen of all this shit, and if I don't get to it, I don't get to it, right? But yeah, marble grebe being the big one. I would say below that is maybe what do you think, Adderite light slate? Yeah, I would say probably Adderite light slate, marble grebe. Those are your two big ones. And again, this is something that returning players need to look for on their base. If you have these things and someone comes along and they want to buy this for an extremely low price, they want to buy this for something under $1 million cash, you know, then it's they're trying to scam you. They know the value of it, and yeah, they want to try to take it off of you for super cheap without you knowing about it, right? And I definitely have some pictures of marble grebe and Adderite light slate, but there are a few more ores here that just that I've seen listed. I don't really remember any of these, but I see them listed as unobtainable ores now. So again, just check around for these. Should also check for chalky slate that contains Adderite and mithril, beige slate rose gold, limestone, cobalt, and zinc, smoke slate with Adderite and mithril. We have blue slate containing Adderite and mithril, and I think there's beige slate Adderite as well. But yes, please check for these ores. Anything that I've just listed. If you are new to Oaklands or you are returning to Oaklands, yeah, not new to Oaklands. Sorry, man, I'm fried. I gotta drink this fucking coffee, guys. But yeah, if you are returning to Oaklands and you see these things, yeah, those are very rare items. Those are rare. They are unobtainable. They more than likely will never be back in the game in that form. And that's not to say, oh, I do have this, I should go straight to Oak Market and sell it, right? You know, you can do that if you were that strapped for cash, you want it. $1 million cash in Oaklands isn't really a lot in the grand scheme of things, but what you can do with $1 million cash in Oaklands is a lot. You can do a lot with that. So just be aware of that. Keep your eye out for things. Maybe you have an old plot that you haven't loaded into in so long, and you know, just look around. It doesn't hurt. Me personally, I like to put it on a pedestal somewhere and flex it. You know what I mean? Admire it. Admire what you have. And when it loses its novelty to you, sell it to somebody else. Pass it on. Let someone else admire it and get the novelty out of a rare ore like that. Something that's unobtainable. I mean, there is more that I want to add on to this, but out of unobtainable ores, right? And this is about gifts. And, say you played Oaklands sometime last year, right? Sometime maybe around Halloween or Christmas, right? Uh, Played it for like 3 days tops. You barely expanded your plot, you barely built anything, but they had these really cool gifts in the shop, and you bought a few of them. And you're returning and you're getting back into Oaklands and you still have these gifts, and someone comes along and they see that you're still progressing, but you have all these gifts, and yeah, people will try to scam you, and it's hard to really say that it's a scam. Yeah, it's not really so much as a scam as it is people being dishonest and kind of deceiving you about what these items are really worth. And it's very possible that if this is something that happens in game, that they might not know the actual value of these gifts on the market. And the only thing I'm trying to protect people from here is that there is a market and there is kind of set price. There is ballpark prices for all of these items in Oaklands, right? And that's the only thing I'm trying to get across to returning players, is that things have changed. People aren't really selling things for whatever they think it's worth. They're selling things for whatever the last player who sold things thought it was worth. And yeah, these prices have kind of stuck. And yeah, that's kind of what happened with like the rare cylinder market, right? Um, people were selling rare colored cylinders for 750K, 800, 900, right? And yeah, I think Novocaine just came along one day and he was like, I am selling, what, like 20 fucking, I'm probably exaggerating, like 20 fucking rare cylinders for 500K, and everybody was like, oh, I am also selling my cylinder for 500K, and it just stuck, and it's been that way ever since for a few months now. And yeah, I think that's kind of one of the reasons why a real player-run economy would never work in Oaklands. And yeah, that would probably be the death of Oaklands if they ever added something like that. But I'm getting off topic here. And like I said, what I wanted to get into was the gifts that you may have purchased when you played before, if you are a returning player. And to be wary of people trying to buy these gifts from you. I do have a list here, not really from a good friend of mine, but from someone who was a good friend in a moment of need for me. And I'm going to kind of go down the list here and read you off the prices that are a very good baseline, I feel, for all of the gifts that are in game. And this doesn't include limiteds, this doesn't include things like ham bones and tombstones and stockings and things like that. Clover boxes, Sakuras, it doesn't include things like that. This is purely for gifts. Because that's what most people want, is these don't really return in their original form to the game, right? So they're always changing. And yeah, let's dive into this list. I'm going to try to put this on screen for you guys. So let's start at Christmas gifts, right? And again, this is just a good ballpark range, just so you don't have someone coming along and being like, I'll give you 20K for it, you know what I mean? And it's around 100 and so thousand, right? Is it what it's actually value, what other players sell it for, what other players buy it for. And yeah, we'll start off with Christmas at the gift of Christmas, 190K per, 190,000 per for gift of Christmas. Gift of Emotion, 170K per. Gift of Emotion seems very flexible. I see price fluctuate on that a lot, to be honest, but I think that has to do with so many people opening them and trying to collect the heads that are inside them. Yeah, those might end up being pretty rare one day. I don't know. People keep opening the way they do. Gift of Greed, this is the little pirate ship thing, 90K per. I think that's pretty spot on. Gift of Chestnut, 75K per. Gift of Lacking Bacon, 65K per. Gift of Extreme Knowledge, 180K. Gift of Missed Opportunity, 70K per. Friendly Gift of Friendliness, 65K per. I think that's pretty spot on. Gift of Anomaly, Gift of Anomaly, 95k per. I think that's on. I think these are a little bit cheaper now. Gift of Science, 75k per. Gift of Extreme Wealth, 80k per. Gift of Oinky Poinky, 110,000 per. And that's it for Christmas. That's it for Christmas gifts. Next is Easter and St. Patrick's, 25k per gift of good fortune. Those are a little bit flexible too, kind of just because they're so cheap. 100k per gift of exquisite Agnes. That's pretty spot on. 280k per gift of Agnes. That's a little low. Maybe not. Again, this is just kind of like a baseline. It's kind of for where prices should be at, just so you know you don't have a gift of fucking whatever and someone comes along and offers you like 2 fucking oak bucks for it and you think it's a good deal. 250k per gift of tall. Gift of tall seems to be going for kind of like in excess of 300,000. Gift of tall is, I guess the price fluctuates on that as well, but again, it's just a baseline. That's it for Easter and St. Patrick's. Next we have Halloween. 60k per gift of bat, 60k per gift of Edentulus. I think I said that right. 60k per gift of Membry, 90k per gift of Lantern. Gift of bat is pretty spot on with 60k. Edentulus and Membry seem to go for just a little bit more usually. I don't ever see them sold that low. Gift of bat is usually the cheapest out of all. And again, as always, I can't tell you how to play Oaklands. I can't tell you how to enjoy the game. You should play the game however you want. You should play the game however you enjoy. And yeah, just again, the whole purpose for this video is to inform returning players of things to watch out for, things to be careful of, and just kind of give them some information about items that they might have obtained back in the day and still have and don't really realize the value of it or what it's worth now on Oak Market or what it's worth to other players, to an extent to where these players will try to deceive you from these items, you know what I mean? So yeah, hopefully someone returning will watch this and they might have a couple of these things laying around, and yeah, maybe you can sell get your money's worth out of them, you know, make it worth your time and effort. Yeah, thanks guys. Yeah, bro, good luck everybody. I'm gonna try to get a 3rd video out soon. What the fuck ever, man. Peace.